All right, a massive hello to all you apprentices at Kent Business College. Look, have you ever been on a project that feels like a runaway train and you're just sort of clinging on for dear life? Well, today we're going to learn how to grab the controls. We are talking about the critical path method. I know, it's a bit of a fancy name, but trust me, it's a brilliantly simple tool that's going to be your secret weapon for getting things done on time and, let's be honest, looking like you really know your stuff. So, let's get into it.
Oh, you know the ones I'm talking about. Everyone's running around like a blue R's fly, deadlines are slipping through your fingers, and absolutely nobody has a clue which job is actually the most important one to tackle right now. It's chaos, isn't it? That sinking feeling when a project goes completely pear-shaped? Yeah, that's exactly what we're here to stop from ever happening again.
So, here's our plan of attack for today. First, we'll cover the basics of what this whole critical path thing is. Then we'll take a little walk through the calculations. And don't worry, it's just simple adding and taking away. Nothing scary. And then we'll get stuck into a proper real-world job to see it in action. By the end of this, I promise you'll have a brand new project management superpower.
Right, first things first. Before we get into any numbers, let's just forget all the scary formulas. I want you to think of the critical path as the main A road on a map. It's the one route that gets you from the start of your project all the way to the finish line. It's the sequence of jobs that you have to watch like a hawk. So, what it all boils down to is this. The critical path method, or CPM as you'll hear it called, is all about focus. It's a really clever way of cutting through all the noise and chaos on a project to find that handful of tasks that genuinely control your finish date. It literally tells you, "Oi, look over here. This is where you need to put your energy."
Okay, so to find that main road on our project map, we need to make two little journeys. The first one is what we call the forward pass. We're going to walk our project from the very beginning right to the very end, adding up the days as we go. It's all about figuring out how long this whole thing could take if everything went absolutely swimmingly.
You see, the whole point of this first walkthrough is to find the earliest possible moment that each and every task can start and finish. It's all about being an optimist. We're just adding up durations to find the absolute shortest time our project could ever take. It's no magic, I promise, just a little bit of simple arithmetic. And here's the best part. There are only two simple rules you need to know. Think of it like a relay race, right? The early start for your leg of the race is whenever the runner before you slaps that baton in your hand. And your early finish? Well, that's just your start time plus how long it takes you to run your bit. Simple as that. We just do those two steps over and over, all the way to the finish line.
Okay, journey number one is in the bag. Now for the second part of our little tour, the backward pass. This time we're going to start at that finish line we just found, and we're going to walk the whole thing in reverse. We'll be doing a bit of subtraction this time to figure out the absolute latest we can leave things without getting into trouble.
So what's really interesting here is that we're working out the last possible moment we can start and finish each task without making the whole project late. You can think of it as finding your real, hard deadlines. It's literally just taking away on your way back from the end date. And again, it's just two simple rules, basically the mirror image of what we did before. Imagine you have to be at a party at 8 o'clock. The late finish for getting ready is 8 p.m., right? And if it takes you an hour to get ready, your late start is 7 p.m. See? It's just common sense. We just do that for every single task working our way back. Right. This is where the magic happens. Honestly, we've done our forward journey to find all the earliest times, and we've done our backward journey to find all the latest times. Now, by putting those two sets of numbers side by side, we can suddenly see which tasks are totally rigid and which ones have a bit of flexibility.
And this flexibility, it's got a proper name. It's called total float. It is, quite simply, the amount of time that a task can be delayed before it starts to cause a proper problem for your final deadline. In other words, it's your wiggle room. It's your safety net, your buffer. It's brilliant.
And calculating it could not be easier. You just take the early start time you found on that first journey forward, and you subtract it from the late start time you found on your journey back. The difference between the absolute latest you must start and the earliest you could have started, well, that's your float. That's your wiggle room. Okay, enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty with a proper British example, shall we? We're going to plan a small refurbishment for a council office. I promise you, this is going to make all those numbers and rules suddenly click into place.
Right then, here's our mission. We've got 9 jobs from A through to I to get this council office looking sharp. We've got the survey, the design, ordering all the bits and bobs, ripping out the old stuff, you know the drill. Let's figure out how long this little job is actually going to take us. Now, we're just going to pop all of that into a simple table. Don't let this put you off. It's not for being clever. It's just a way to keep our numbers organized so we don't end up in a right muddle. We're going to fill this in together step by step.
Okay, let's do our forward pass. Have a look at the table. We always start at day 0. Task A takes 2 days, so its early finish is day 2. Easy. Task B can't start till A is done, so its early start is day 2. It takes 5 days, so it finishes on day 7. See? We just keep going like that, adding as we go, and if you look at the bottom, our earliest possible finish is day 24.
Now, for the return journey, let's work backwards. Take a look at the late finish and late start columns. We know we have to finish by day 24, so that's the late finish for our last task, task I. It takes 1 day, so its late start is day 23. Task H has to be done before I can start, so its late finish is day 23. It takes 3 days, so its late start is day 20. We just keep subtracting our way all the way back to the start. And now, for the moment of truth. Let's find the float. We just subtract the early start from the late start for every single task. And look what we found. Tasks D, E, and G, they've got a lovely 4 days of wiggle room. But the rest of them, not a sausage. They have got 0 float. Absolutely none.
So looking at our completed table, which of these jobs are the ones that really run the show? Which ones, as we sometimes say in the business, are the ones that call the tune?
Well, it's the ones with 0 float, of course. Our critical path is survey, then design, ordering the items, fitting the furniture, snagging, and finally, the grand reopening. Any delay to any one of these tasks will push our finish date back from day 24. These are the jobs you simply cannot let slip.
And that's pretty much it. But this isn't just some boring academic exercise, is it? This is your new superpower. This is how you can save money, how you can reduce stress, and how you can confidently walk into a meeting and tell your boss exactly what needs to be done, what has flexibility, and how you can spot trouble a mile off.
For instance, what happens when the boss comes in and says, "That's lovely, but I need it done by day 20? Well, our calculations show that's 4 days earlier than is physically possible. This creates something called negative float. Your plan is now officially impossible without making some big changes, like shortening a task or chucking more money and people at it. But now you can actually prove it with cold, hard data.
So, next time you're handed a project plan, what's the very first thing you're going to do? Now that you can see that hidden path that drives absolutely everything, where are you going to focus your attention first? That's the power you now have. So go on, go and use it.